reaction to our discussion on reducing the rates from last night, but here it is. It's really historic. It's 50 years, over 50 years since there was a movie produced here in Southland. Well, a man has now come up and done it. Mark McCann is his name. He's produced a movie, and I spoke to him recently and asked him where the original inspiration came from.
Well, the main character there, Gary Smith, the guy with the hat on and the big black beard, he was a good friend of mine, and I said to him one day, I said, I hope you don't mind, but you kind of look like a pirate.
And his reaction was?
Well, his reaction was, I mean, he's a good-natured sort of guy. He said no. He said, oh, you sort of yo-ho-ho, you know. But we did a 20-second commercial for this competition that was on with Ice TV at the time. And we were just a bit too late. We missed out by about 2 weeks.
And he could have been in there. Well, let's have a look at him in action from one of the excerpts, the first time we've seen an excerpt from Back to the Future, the pirate. And here we are. This is almost right from the start, so it's quite thematic. We'll just listen to it as the music comes in. I see what you mean by Gary Smith looking like a pirate. I mean, and that's what you're trying to get there, aren't you? Presence.
He had this incredible presence. For a 20-second commercial, he was just brilliant. So I said to him, at the time I was trying to make productions, possibly for TV, involving puppets, like these sort of 20-inch puppets. But I said to him, I said, look, you're so good, we could try and do a movie with you, maybe an hour or something.
That's incredible. From puppets to a 20-second commercial to a 1-hour film now that it's become a 2-hour film.
Well, the idea was I was trying to do something, and trying to do something that would work. And we started off shooting the story with him, and it was working well. Yeah.
Now, there must have been some interesting situations, like even like fundraising. How do you keep your money together for a production like that?
I guess it's just a matter of being focused and having very good budgeting skills. But the point is, no, I was just working down at the docks and working, mowing lawns and so forth, saving up all the money, and then I'd have to budget it really carefully, allocate tape stock and a little bit of, well, sort of wages, a little bit. Because
you've got to go for your special effects, and now let's have a look at the next piece, and this shows, we've got to have a chase. If it's an action movie that's going for the modern audience, so let's take a look at the chase scene, or part of it, because we don't want to give away too much. Well, very good, you managed to hire an expensive helicopter. That's big budget.
Yeah, courtesy of the army.
And here's a minor character, they tell me.
That's a minor character. It's a nerd there. Who's doing what he shouldn't do, and he's having the bad boys after him.
Now that's not a very big, powerful American motorbike. It was, oh, flash house you live in for a nerd.
No, that's one of the major characters lives in that.
That's very nicely shot. There we have it, part of a chase scene. Now, they tell me it got even more dramatic at the railway crossing.
Well, actually, the first scene that we shot, I had another friend, Harry Burford, and the screenplay was developed. We had the story idea, where it was going to start. It was going to involve a pirate, and without giving too much away, yes, it does involve a time machine, and there's a link up. But it also involves some shady characters and some crooked people. People doing what they shouldn't do and getting chased by the baddies and so forth. So one of the first scenes we filmed was at the railway line. And I'd set up the camera with my wife on the camera. Harry was in the car with a gun, and I got onto a motorbike, put my big helmet on, so you can't hear a lot through the helmet, big padded sort of thing. Kicked up the bike into life and had this engine noise of the motor, and I was thinking of everything that was organised and focused on that. So I took off, the car took off. Next thing is this deafening horn of the train coming down the line, because I'm coming up to a railway crossing, and the train turns up. It's just the locomotive, and
So we almost had an actual stunt in real life happen.
Almost had some real gore. It can happen so easily. But what happened in the final film was that you have this train, this blare of the horn, the train turns up just at the right moment, you know. And people said, "How'd you do that?" And I thought, am I going to tell them or not?
Just in summing up very briefly, Mark, what do you want the film to achieve?
It's designed right from the start as a product, and we hope that it's going to be a good promotion for Southland. At the moment it's going to be promoted in Southland, and possibly as a fundraiser with organisations. The cost there will be like For adults $7, children $3.50, and for students $5 to get in.
There we have it, Mark McCann, new movie maker down here in the south. The whole movie, which is called Past the Future Pirate, being created here in the south, himself a Southlander and other Southland actors as well. Fascinating, this has been going on for 2 years. Now the big debut for it is on the 1st of October at the Christian Centre in Leet Street, and he gave you the prices there for what it is to get in. That's going to be a big event. We look forward to catching up with that. Not shot on celluloid, shot on Super VHS, so that's like a video form, but that'll come up very well on a very big screen. Congratulations to Mark McCann and the team working there. Well, reaction